What crazy events and predictions are yet to come to pass in the year 2023? What prophecy is next to come into fruition? Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be everything from political upheaval, chaos at the White House in the United States and Washington, D.C., a storm related to Hurricane Katrina or Hurricane Sandy hitting the United States, and other severe weather, a drop in the economy, in the stock market. When could that possibly occur? This and much more today on my top 10 world predictions for the remainder of 2023 from July 1st till December 31st, 2023. My name is Joseph Tittel, aka Spiritman JT, and I welcome you back to my channel. If you're new here, I welcome you to our channel. I am so glad that you are here. If you want accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, then you found the perfect tribe. You're going to want to make sure you smash that subscribe. And even if you have done so in the past, always go back and check your subscriptions, because very often people mysteriously, you become unsubscribed. I want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters who make this free content possible. I am forever grateful, as I hope everybody that watches this free content is also grateful. And I want to thank you for clicking that like button and remind you to sign up for my newsletter down below, where you can open that up and register for free to find out what's going on in the way of videos, where I'm at, what I'm doing, monthly messages, classes, and so much more. Check that out down below, along with all my other social media contacts. So technically, there's more than just 10 predictions in this top 10 predictions, which you'll gather as I move forward. So what does the rest of 2023 hold for us? Let's start the countdown with number 10. World chaos, protests, and rioting. Unfortunately, we already see what's happening in France, and soon this is going to become a common ground throughout the world as people are getting past the point of being fed up. They are becoming super fed up. In turn, they're going to take to the streets and start demanding to take our power back. What is happening in France is soon going to come to America due to a similar circumstances that happened in France, unfortunately. So I warn you ahead of time that this is the puppeteers. That's what they want. They want you to do that. They want you to be violent and be destructive. That's why they send in their own little groups of people to make sure that happens. But I ask you to remain peaceful, for the only way we can get anything done is to do so peacefully, while also being forward at the same time. Unfortunately, we are going to see the gathering of a new movement that's going to sweep across the globe. Perhaps that movement is already here, and soon we will begin to see it pushed right in our faces through mass media outlets. The chaos is going to continue when it comes to massive strikes and walkouts that affect travel and many goods and services as well. So remember, as I've been telling you for years, make sure you're prepared and you're stocked up. Let's move on to the number 9 prediction, catastrophic earth and weather events. Major catastrophic earth and weather events in the way of weather. We're already, again, becoming very aware and see the huge acceleration in our weather patterns. And sadly, they're going to become even more intense as 2023 progresses. Moving on to the number 9 prediction, catastrophic earth and weather events. Extremely catastrophic weather and earth events. Major. And we already have seen an acceleration in these weather patterns and the severity of the storms that have been hitting, but 2023 has not yet ceased to amaze us with what's yet to come. I had visions that reminded me of both Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Sandy, especially Hurricane Katrina. I could only interpret this vision as being exactly that, a big storm, hurricane-like situation that's going to do just as much, or likely break a record in the amount of destruction that it brings in its path. So I tell you all to always be prepared and always to be stocked up. Really, really important. We have yet to feel or see or experience the record-breaking heat that is certainly heading our way in July and through August of 2023. And we are going to witness some of the highest and the highest recorded temperatures on record thus far, including a report of the highest temperature globally reported by the year end, continuing to rise higher. In the wintertime, it's going to be the exact opposite as we have early cold and blizzards blowing in before the holiday even arrives, including a major blizzard that sweeps across parts of the United States just in time for Christmas. August 29th is a day to watch very closely, especially being that we get that next energy shift and tsunami wave of energy that comes blowing in on August 30th. That time window is going to be very, very important when it comes to weather events and catastrophic events like earthquakes and volcanoes. We are going to experience events unlike anything this planet has ever witnessed in hundreds, perhaps even thousands of years, when we witness sleeping volcanoes that begin to awaken both above the surface and deep beneath the surface in the oceans. From late August into early November, it may seem to appear a bit apocalyptic to some folks who happen to be amongst the very unfortunate to be in the path of Mother Nature's wrath. Some of Mother Nature's wrath is going to include huge waves that knock boats over, causing people to go deep into the sea, while at the same time a tsunami wipes across one particular island, hopefully with no casualties, of course. So remember, for more predictions in weather and prophecy, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Moving on to number 8, going out with a bang. That's right, 2023 is going to go out with a bang, and everything as we currently know it, as it stands, is going to shift and change forever, both on a personal level and on a universal level. Something, again, that's really well needed on our planet. Hopefully we hold in the light that it shifts for the better. We are going to be faced with yet another Mercury retrograde when we hit the month of December, and a final tsunami wave of that energy shift coming in the day after Christmas. Another time period to pay very close attention to right around Christmas. I do urge you all that no matter what occurs, do not drop into fear. Just be prepared, nurture yourself, and allow yourself to heal through the processes and events that are coming throughout this year. Everything feels so very different to me when I visit the timeline of January 2024. It feels very, very differently, and unfortunately, it feels like there's been great destruction and fear that has swept across the planet before we reach January 2024. I don't know what all the details are, but again, all the more reason to subscribe so that you can keep track with the visions and prophecies and predictions that I put out. Moving on to number 7, prediction, the Vatican and religion. No coincidence that number 7 aligns with 2023 being a 7-year in numerology. Therefore, this is going to bring a huge scope to religion, spirituality, and of course, the Vatican as well. Something huge is about to hit the Vatican, and Spirit showed me a really interesting vision of something come breaking through the walls of the Vatican and breaking out of the Vatican. As the walls all began to fall, it was a big demon. This demon looked both directions and then headed straight towards the city and disappeared in the light of the sun. I don't know exactly what's going to be unleashed from the Vatican or how exactly to interpret that vision, but I would say something huge is about to happen. Not only that, Pope Francis's reign is about to come to a close. And when it does, great controversy will be revolved around the church because the Pope is not going to be able to handle the stress of what's happening. Already cannot. Putting a toll on his health and having him step down or even passing away. My number 6 predictions all revolved around the economy and stock markets. And as far as the month of October is concerned, it is an 8 vibration in numerology, which is always highlighting finances, investments, the economy, stock markets, and so forth. With that 8 vibration, some things are going to come blowing in just in the month of September, moving into October, bringing great downfalls in the economy and even economic crisis for many countries, if not the entire planet. I am not an investment advisor. I am a spiritual medium, but I will say that precious metals is the way to go because it's the only thing that's going to profit before the year end, or one of the very few things that's going to profit before the year ends. And that's because markets are going to get a huge crunch and a big shake to the stock market system. And sadly, this again feels to me like a very orchestrated, well-orchestrated plan. And in turn, this is going to be an attack on our economy and specifically targeting specific companies and corporations in a way to profit off of them and take some of them out of the stock market completely. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Spirit tells me to beware of BlackRock. So I don't know what's coming up around BlackRock. We already know. I've talked about BlackRock in one of my past videos, but we have to keep our eyes. Remember Spirit telling us, beware of BlackRock. The markets are actually going to begin to become scary, likely by the end of the month of August, as we step directly into that Mercury retrograde in Virgo on August 23rd. On a positive note, I don't feel at all that this is the time where the whole entire economy collapses, as many experts have been predicting. I say, as I've been saying from the beginning, that would most likely be in the fall, September, October of 2024, because 2024 is an 8 vibration in numerology. At the latest, 2025. By 2025, we will not be using the same currencies that we use currently. That's why, again, precious metals, I believe, is the way to go. But even more so, investing in buying food and survival gear so you have it, because really that's the most important of all. Number 5 prediction in the top predictions is all about the cartel, because I feel something big is going to happen around the cartel. Not just in Mexico, but something that's going to have a global effect on the cartel or on the globe in general. I don't quite know much about the cartel, and I really don't care to know anything about the cartel, but I do know that they're always up to something, and it's not something good. It's something very dark and evil. So this feels to me like something that huge, and that the cartel is launching some type of a different type of attack. You know, it's something new, something different, something they haven't quite done before. An attack, of course, that they want to bring them more power and control, of course. Spirit says that the cartel are going to be making bold and insane moves in the near future that can bring a new type of conflict. I don't know what type of conflict, but if you go back to my past predictions, I talked about issues along the borders of the United States, especially in Texas, and people beginning to fight back. This is likely very well related to the prediction I made in the past of the cartel, with a little bit more details now. A new type of conflict. That would definitely be a new type of conflict. Spirit also makes me feel that this new type of conflict launched by the cartel is going to be backed by threats, of course, and fear. And more than anything, we must not submit to their threats or to their fear, or whoever you may be that they are sending those threats and fear. Instead, be positive. This time, the cartel, again, is going to end up igniting a conflict in which they are going to deeply regret. So it's going to be very interesting to see how number 5's prediction on the cartel comes into fruition. Moving on to my number 4 prediction out of my top predictions for the remainder of 2023. This one has to do, unfortunately, with diseases and outbreaks. Something is coming in the way of a new outbreak. And once again, I feel, unfortunately, that this is somewhat of a repeat of 2020 that's already being planned as some type of an attack or desire to gain more control over us and over humanity. However, part of me strongly feels that they are going to fail at their mission this time around, and they're not going to complete their achieved goal, at least not for now, and thank God for that. Something that I've been consistently witnessing with my clients is the time period of September through November, and also pointing out to them to be aware of health and surrounding health issues. Not necessarily at all issues for them personally, but I consistently keep seeing issues around them and having to alert them to be aware, to nurture themselves, and to take care of themselves before we get to that time cycle. This has been so consistent, again, setting off alarms for myself in client sessions, that I know now that the energy coming in for the Mercury retrograde during that time period of September, even leading out of the retrograde, October, November, is going to be a time that's going to have a huge effect on each and every one of us. And it's also going to have us focusing on being alert when it comes to our health. That would make me think that there could very well be a potential worrying concern of an outbreak and being safe and keeping yourself germ-free. Remember that Spirit has been consistently telling everybody, especially for the month of July, that we need to take some time for ourselves, to nurture ourselves and our body, mind, and spirit. Is this a pre-warning that we need to do so before we step into the pre-shadow of that Mercury retrograde on August 3rd? Which is only going to intensify when we get into August 23rd to September 14th in that window. That is known to bring up emotions, and emotions are always connected to diseases and illnesses. If we don't nurture ourselves and control emotions and work through them, again, we end up sick or end up with something even worse. So I would take Spirit's advice. As a matter of fact, I am taking Spirit's advice. Another outbreak that I feel is coming is going to somehow affect our food and our food chain, likely our proteins, so therefore revolved around chicken and beef. Perhaps a new surge in the bird flu, maybe another outbreak of the swine flu, perhaps both, but something's coming. And I urge you and continue to urge you to stock up on all your necessities and all your proteins. My number 3 prediction has to do with chaos at the White House in Washington, D.C. In my visions, I saw a vision of chaos breaking out all around the White House and on the grounds of the White House especially. In the visions, I saw Secret Service and FBI jackets all over the grounds rushing around in a chaotic situation. In the vision, I saw at least 2, perhaps 3 ambulances, and I couldn't tell if it was a fire truck or a rescue fire, but I saw that as well in my vision. I did not see smoke or fire, but I will happen to mention in a past prediction, I saw smoke coming out of the window of the White House. Not that this is at all related, but I thought I'd mention that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what this chaos is that's about to break out on the grounds of the White House. Maybe they'll find some more cocaine while they're there. Moving closer to the number 1 prediction of my top predictions for the remainder of 2023 leads me to the number 2 prediction, the fall of Hollywood legends. And not just Hollywood, music legends as well. A fall of legends is coming, and it's going to appear as if maybe there's a sacrifice of sorts that's happening in the background when huge legends are going to begin to exit this lifetime. Potential losses, and if not losses, definitely these folks are going to have severe health issues that could leave them on the line of death, of course. And they're going to include legends like Bob Dylan, a member of the Rolling Stones, Celine Dion, Jack Nicholson, perhaps Richard Simmons, Michael J. Fox, Dolly Parton, Tom Hanks, and of course the most obvious one of all, Joe Biden. On the subject of the fall and passing of legends from Hollywood and from the music industry, I see a rapper type of Tupac-style killing happening. Whether it be on the streets of Las Vegas or somewhere else, I'm not clear. But it brought me back memories of the whole thing that happened on the streets of Vegas with Tupac. Not only are we going to witness a rapper and a Tupac-style killing, we are also going to begin to witness more and more millionaire and billionaire elite and members of the elite dropping off as well. We already saw that happening with the billionaire who allegedly was on the Ocean Gate Titan that imploded while investigating the Great Titanic. But was it really an incident, or was it somebody faking their death to hide? No matter what it may be, Spirit shows me that we are going to get evidence of some of these millionaires, or at least one of these millionaires and billionaires, faking their death, showing us that they're doing something together. What they're doing, I don't think I want to know. But these are the things we're going to witness with the fall of legends and with Hollywood, elite, and so many others by the time 2023 comes to a close. Moving on to my number 1 top prediction of my top predictions for 2023 and the remainder of 2023. A major shift in change is coming that's going to occur within our governments, right here within the United States, but also abroad as well. Starting in the United States, which is going to have a series of major events that are going to occur between September and November that are going to completely shake up the White House and the whole political structure of the United States. At the same time, I keep hearing a song in my head saying, bye bye Biden, bye bye. It's like the Backstreet Boys are back again with bye bye Biden, bye bye. Not only will JB no longer be a puppet for the United States of America and the elite, but JB may actually get to meet his maker, or the one perhaps he may have sold his soul to very soon before the year ends, and likely before his birthday arrives in November. Spirit showed me visions of a big funeral, and I saw Jill Biden in the front of the funeral with the emotions moving the wreath in my vision. So I know that this is definitely approaching us in the near future, whether that funeral being in 2023 or leading us into early 2024, it's coming. And it's not only JB, but I see multiple back-to-back political type of funeral ceremonies occurring, not just in the United States, but abroad as well. I wouldn't doubt that we see somebody like Kim Jong-un, North Korea, pass and his sister taking the reins. Also, not only just the president, but former presidents like Jimmy Carter. But Spirit shows me that there will be back-to-back political funerals within the United States and abroad, perhaps even Australia and many other places. It's going to, again, change absolutely everything as the way we know it. Spirit also showed me a similar vision that I had many years ago, and that vision was of Kamala taking the oath of president after Biden steps down or steps out completely. I saw that vision again when I was preparing these top predictions. The only positive thing that it feels to me is that she's not going to last very long. Hopefully that's for the good and for the good of all, for our country and for the world. But from the United States to Germany, the United Kingdom, Japan, New Zealand, and even China are all going to have surprising, somewhat shocking changes in their power structure and within their governments. There is only one thing that truly concerns me when it comes to these shocking events that I know are about to play out before we reach January 2024. The political upheaval, the scandals within government, and the changes of power. And that concern is the fact that this is extremely likely going to bring about conflict between a nation or several nations before we reach January 1st of 2024. Spirit also showed me a vision of an invasion taking place. Troops invading territory, new lands in the early morning hours, a few hours before sunrise, so approximately 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm not sure where this is or who's doing the invading, but I feel that this is a big surprise that's coming as well. I will get more details as time progresses, so it's all the more reason to make sure that you hang out with my tribe, smash that subscribe, and know that you can join me every Tuesday for prediction updates, talking about current events, how they relate to predictions and prophecy, and always new information and new predictions from Team Spirit each and every week. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for smashing that like button because I love each and every one of you. And again, I thank my supporters for the chat cash, the PayPal, and all that you do, joining the community down below to support this channel to make this free content available for everybody else. Until the next time, much love and gratitude. Remember to always be bold, be true, be kind, be you, because you're freaking awesome. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste and much love.